Chapter 19. And in the end. Pay enough attention to anything. A blade of grass, a tumbling chips bag, long past its purpose, a bowl of noodles, a passing face, and the world starts whispering its secrets. Is there such a thing as cultural perfection? Or is there some elusive societal state of grace? If so, who gets to define it? The conqueror or the quiet village? The GDP or the generosity of strangers? Perfection implies completion, an end point. But culture isn't a product. It's a current, moving, merging, eddying. It thrives in contradiction, in the tension between ancient rituals and the buzz of neon, between devotion and decadence. So how do we measure it? Is it in humility, the monk sweeping temple steps at dawn, never asking to be seen? Or generosity, the kind that costs nothing but kind intention? Is it in the eyes of a beautiful woman slipping fruit into your hands with a wink? Is it in humor, crude, sly, self deprecating, telling us how a people survive history without losing themselves? Or in sadness, the collective ache of lives lost to war, famine, disease, migration, modernization, and memory? What about hope? As lanterns rise into inked night skies, carrying wishes not yet broken by the world. And then there's desire, the motor of it all, for beauty, for recognition, for more, for less, for meaning. Creativity follows close behind. Graffiti on a crumbling wall, calligraphy on a monk's manuscript, TikToks and temple murals, watercolors and woven silks that educate, astound, and amaze. Perspective shifts like light in a rice field, depending on who's telling the story. Ambition powers a city skyline. Wealth paves the roads to it, but neither tells you who smiles inside the homes. So, is perfection found in the balance? In the willingness to keep asking, keep adapting, without forgetting the soil beneath your feet? It's been said 1,000 ways by wiser voices than mine. If you want to understand respect, not the performative kind, not the polite nod across a table, but the sincere rooted kind that lives in the bones, then you have to move. Not up, not forward, out. You have to travel, not to collect visa stamps and selfies, but to be made small in the presence of something older, bigger, and wiser than you. To eat food with your hands, to bow to a stranger with an open heart, to sleep on floors, to mispronounce names, words, and phrases, then try again, to listen longer than is sometimes comfortable. Respect doesn't bloom in echo chambers or airport lounges. It grows when you let your guard down in a stranger's home, when you don't understand the language but you feel the meaning anyway, when you realize your way is not the way, it's just a way. You begin to see that tradition isn't quaint, it's continuity. That ritual isn't rigid, it's rhythm. And culture isn't a museum, it's a living, breathing improvisation. A collective story constantly being written as a guiding light from the past to the future via 1,000 dialects and dances. Can cultural perfection, or some approximation of it, exist? Even if it's only for the historical blink of an eye? I believe it can, though the windows of those fleeting glorious moments are small and often barely open. Here's the thing. Strip away the passports, the rituals, the anthems, the flags, the apps, and most people want the same damn thing. To be happy. To live outside the grip of constant worry. To love and be loved in return. Fiercely, freely, and without footnotes or agendas. To eat well and often with laughter ringing around the table. To be healthy enough to dance at weddings and walk at sunset with the dog. To have a safe haven to rest our bodies at night, and a safer place still to rest our hearts. Does that utopia exist? No, not in full. Not in the way the dreamers and poets depict, or marketers promote. But there are cultures, scattered like bright beacons across the globe, and throughout history that come closer than most. Places where kindness is a reflex, not a forced performance. Where the elderly are not forgotten, but honored. Where food is made to nourish, not brand. Where community isn't just a word thrown around during elections. Where the pace slows, not out of laziness, but because time is seen as a gift, not a currency. No culture gets it all right. Every society carries its own shadows, blind spots, contradictions. But some places, some ways of living, they tilt the scale a little more toward grace. And when you find those places, even briefly, you don't want to leave. But if you must, you carry those places with you like a talisman. But there are always the detractors, the derailers, the ones who scoff at talk of dignity, generosity, and balance, because they've mistaken cynicism for wisdom. Zoom out far enough, and culture isn't just colorful dances and customs. It's a blueprint, a system, one that either prioritizes the individual ego or collective survival. If we cede some layers of personal ambition in favor of the greater good, if we start from a place where most people have their basic needs met, where dignity isn't doled out based on wealth or status, where respect is not earned by dominance or taken by force, but offered by default, then maybe, we can evolve past pettiness, past greed, past the endless, numbing grind of more. Am I pitching some utopian ideal where every voice is heard, every soul seen, and the playing field is perfectly level? Don't be ridiculous. That's not how people work. People are greedy. People are needy. Some will always take more, rise higher, usually upon the backs of others. And strangely enough, sometimes that's how progress happens. Not because, but in spite of it. Societies adopt or reject, absorb or revolt. It's messy, and it's very human. But what grates, what really sets my teeth on edge, are the whiny voices in both the privileged seats and the imaginarily disenfranchised. Those self-proclaimed rebels with no cause beyond attention. Entitlement in a Che Guevara t-shirt. Because nothing screams irrelevance louder than someone who's furious the world doesn't bend to their will. You want to change culture? Good. Start by understanding it. Then earn your outrage. So no, there is no perfect culture, no flawless system, no people free of contradiction, heartbreak, or hypocrisy. But if such a thing as cultural grace exists, a near ideal carved from not wealth or dominance, but from daily gestures of care, balance, and beauty, then Thailand comes close. She doesn't demand your worship. She asks only that you notice, that you sit quietly with a bowl of noodles, watch a yay light incense, see the teenager why the street cleaner, feel the rhythm of life flowing not in a rush, but in a tide. Thailand doesn't hand you meaning. She invites you to earn it. In sweat, in silence, in contemplation, in humility. In alleyways filled with chilly smoke and temple bells. In the way even the poorest among her offer something. A smile, a seat, a story. She lives in balance between restraint and pleasure, tradition and reinvention, self-respect and selfishness, selflessness. And for all her flaws, for all the changes rolling in like monsoon clouds, there's something here that whispers, this is how it could be. Not perfect, but deeply, achingly human. I hope, no, I pray to Buddha himself that Thailand will remember me. that in some quiet, unseen way she carries a trace of me the way I carry her, that when I return she'll greet me not as a stranger, but as someone who once listened, who bowed low, who tried to understand, and that she'll be as thrilled to see me again as I will be to see her.